Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation, and people write in to us with their questions and their problems. And this topic is my partner is not my soulmate. What should I do? And the Marriage Foundation is dedicated to putting out information that is accurate. And I used to be a divorce mediator over 20 years ago, and naturally I got all my clients from therapists, marriage counselors. And so when a couple asked me to help them, I had to look at marriage differently than they did because honestly, they don't do a good job. It's a well known but hidden secret that their success rate is unbelievably low. At the Marriage Foundation, ours is really high. Why? It's very simple. We deal in accurate information. So even the word soulmate is so misunderstood. It is like how shall I say it? It's just like a phrase that people adopt, like a pet phrase or something. They don't understand that there's really deep meaning to this, really deep meaning. And the reason why is because the world has become very sensitive to religion and spirituality and talk about God. And we don't talk about religion because we're not a religious organization, but we're spiritual. All of our counselors here have whatever religion they choose, but they all believe in a very deep spiritual, mechanical component. Let's look at it this way. What does spiritual mean? It means love. Love is the most spiritual word there is. Because what is spiritual compared to what? Compared to material. Those are really your two choices. In the material realm, we perceive things through our five senses. We hear, we see, we touch, we taste, etc. I can't remember the last one. And in the spiritual realm, our senses are 100% useless because they don't perceive. You can't hear love. You can't smell love. That's the one. You can't taste love. And yet it is the most real experience any of us have ever had. Talk to anybody who's made a ton of money and ask them what's the most important thing, and they'll talk about their family, which is about love. They'll talk about love directly. And even though they've made a ton of money, that's what they care about. Love is where it's at. Love is it. When we talk about the evolution of humankind, because it's a material subject, they always talk about advancements in technology and industry. But the real advancements are of the heart, nature. Do we have more respect for each other? Do we consider ourselves human animals or human beings? Big difference. So we know, can we agree that love is the highest goal to achieve? So who's achieving it? Certainly not our material selves, which is personified in the mind. And this is where the Marriage Foundation takes a turn from what is currently out there. What is currently out there is pretty much all Western psychology. Unless you're talking to a pastor, priest, minister, imam, or something where they have a spiritual view, but they're all still talking about the material attributes of marriage. And we at the Marriage Foundation talk about you as a soul and your partner as your soul mate. And it didn't just happen. So if you came to this video because you're going, this isn't a person I really love, you're in for a big education here. Because love of the soul, which is what you are, is infinite. It covers everybody. What gets in the way between you, the soul, with love pouring out, and your partner is the mind. It's the mind. Now, that's not to say that you didn't kind of make a mistake. Maybe you did, but not for the reasons you think. I've done a lot of study on this. And I should tell you, not only was I a divorce mediator, I have been a student of spiritual things, including religions, but spiritual things since 1972. Shortly after my 21st birthday, in January of 1972, someone who, by the way, now is a billionaire, he was friends with Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and that crew, and he taught me how to meditate and do yoga. And at that time, trust me, there weren't many people meditating, not in the West. And so I discovered, wow, there is something that I have been missing. And as a result, I started studying the saints, the Persian saints, the Muslims who are Sufis, the Hindu saints, the Jewish saints, the Christian saints. They're in every religion, and some not any religions, and all of them are seeking the same thing: God / love. I don't see a difference between love and God. I think that's what we all need. That's what we all seek, because we are all souls. God created us. This is not a religious conversation, but this is going back to your topic of my partner is not my soulmate. And I got to tell you, that idea does not come from your soul. It comes from your mind. Now, it can be that you have bumped into others, maybe one other, who you really connect with. You could feel it. Well, that doesn't mean that your partner is not your soulmate. That just means you've discovered a truth that people don't realize, and that is that you can have a zillion soulmates, because we're all souls. We've been incarnating in this world many, 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 many times, hundreds of thousands of times. We've bumped into each other all the time. We travel in herds, and you bump into other soulmates. But loyalty is the highest spiritual law. And we know that because in every scripture, the tales that are most compelling are when someone's been betrayed. Loyalty is the highest spiritual law. You can't get anywhere, you can't evolve without being a loyal person. And if you have made a commitment to your wife or to your husband to be loyal, and then you go, oh, but they're not my soulmate, you are betraying not only them, but yourself. Because they are there with you. I define marriage very differently than anyone else. I define marriage as a spiritual path that two individuals who are soulmates take together. And crap comes up in this world. That's the way this world is. And a lot of it causes us to feel uneasy with each other. We're not sure anymore. And your loyalty has to dictate what you do with your feelings, the mind's feelings. The soul loves your soulmate. You, the soul, have no problem with your soulmate whatsoever. But the mind, and this is one of the things that I discovered way back, and that is that you cannot improve your marriage, you cannot improve yourself, you cannot even find deep joy until you have begun the process of mastering your mind. Wow, that comes out of nowhere, right? And yet it's essential. And this is where we are so different. We're going to be training marriage counselors now. Real marriage counselors, not people who necessarily are psychologists, because frankly, a lot of them have to unlearn so much. But people can really help other people with their marriages, counsel them in how to achieve the benefits. Now you're in a situation where you're thinking, you're not thinking, your mind is thinking that you're not married to your soulmate. That's your mind. If you put your mind aside, all of the reasons which are calculated in the mind, all of the emotional feelings which are a process that the mind has, it's a software program, emotions in the mind, and you put all that aside and you open your heart to them, you will start feeling that love come back. And that is your job. That's your job. Your job is to overcome your mind and live in love and joy. That's your job. Does it have anything to do with your soulmate? Yes, it does. They are there for you. There's a reason. There's this spiritual computer that puts us right where we're supposed to be so that we can evolve as human beings. You cannot evolve without adhering to morality. It's a necessity because it keeps our mind in check so it doesn't interfere like it's doing now with your heart's love coming out. Now, you can probably get some help in this area by reading one of the books that I have written, but it won't be as powerful as if you take the Course for Men or the Course for Women, which focuses on two things. One, all the rules of marriage. There are rules of marriage. And two, mastering your mind. Both are essential. The outcome will be that you will live in joy and love. You will live in joy and love with your current soulmate, who you think, your mind is thinking this, that is not your soulmate, but they are. They are. So that's it. Subscribe to this channel. There's a lot to learn just by watching these videos. Usually people who sign up for the course are people who have watched these videos for days, weeks, or even months, and they get the sense that there just isn't anyone else out there who can help them. And it's true. It's true. We own it. I'm not being arrogant. I'm being truthful. We understand marriage. There are teachings of marriage that are accurate, and then there's all the other stuff. So I hope that you benefit from this. That is why I'm doing this. I'm past my retirement age. Trust me, I'm doing this because I want to serve my fellow man and my fellow woman. God bless you. I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation, and I appreciate your stopping by, and I hope to see you again. God bless you. Take care.